Hello everyone, Steve Crosby here. Welcome to this bonus edition of Monday Morning Musings. I had a conversation with a really good friend about last week's Monday Morning Musing about the substance from above. And my friend made some really good comments and suggested that I needed to kind of take this across the finish line. As I've said many times, it's very difficult to be thorough in a 5 or 7 minute exhortation, which is what I try to keep these Monday Morning Musings to, sometimes running up to 10 minutes. But what he shared and what we talked about was so important and so good. I thought I'd do this bonus edition, continuing on from the idea of the controversy over the translation of that word epiousion. That's translated daily. My premise was in the last video that that is a tragic mistake. That it's talking about a substance, not just a theory or something invisible, and was not talking about our sandwich. So I'm just going to give you 2 or 3 more nuggets, try to bring this across the finish line a little bit. First of all, we have established earlier on in this series that this was understood, the Lord's Prayer was understood as an eschatological prayer from a Jewish perspective. It's saturated with the end of time tonality. We've covered that in the other sessions. So keep that in mind as we go forward here. One thing I didn't mention the last time, give us, teach us to pray. This is a word, the prayer is speaking to the community of faith. See, that's why I can't buy, give me my daily sandwich. That's not what I believe this is about. This is an eschatological prayer speaking to the community, talking about granting an eschatological reality in time and space. So that's the first one. Let's keep this in mind. This is a prayer. It's not your private prayer about your lunch. This is a prayer about the community. And the English translation of this day, give us today, give us this day, that is debatable also. What isn't debatable in the scriptures, right? But the idea can be sustained, and I'll tell you why in just a minute, that it's not speaking of my lunch at noon, but rather the day of the end, the day, this day, the day that has been set up in the previous passages. And one reason why I'm convinced of that is because for you and I, the word today, give us today or give us this day, is a noun. So he's speaking of today. But it's an adverb in the Greek text. It's an adverb. It's modifying the petition to grant something. My contention is, this is grant us something suitable for this day. The day of the end, the day of the eschatological kingdom, the day of the community being built, the day of Jesus bringing heaven to earth in and among a people. So that's another nugget that I'd like to leave with you. I wouldn't, go to the mat wrestling over that, but I think there's something legitimate. It's an adverb. It's modified something. It's not talking about particularly a clock hour. Hey, it's lunchtime, give me my sandwich. And lastly, the big question is, well, if there's a bread of substance, what is that substance? My conviction is it's answered in the very next line. And forgive us as we forgive others. The eschatological substance that this prayer is praying to bring to earth is the substance that is found in a forgiving community. That same substance that defines The Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. That same substance we see in the human Jesus with Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. The petition is to grant this day to the community the ability to be a non-retaliatory, non-vengeful, non-vindictive, forgiving community. Feed us with the bread of heaven. Well, what's the bread of heaven like? The bread of heaven is the substance of Jesus and his relationship with the Father, which is centered around forgiveness. And for me, this makes this a whole bunch more sense. And the reason I'm doing this bonus today is because it's a setup for what's coming on Monday of this week coming up, in the sense when it says, and deliver us from the evil. What I just shared with you today is going to fit very nicely with my conviction about what's going on about don't lead us into temptation and deliver us from the evil. So hope you enjoyed this bonus episode, and I'll see you next time.